Talk about the Odyssey for a minute. This is one of the greatest examples of social media ain't real life you're ever going to see. The Culture Warrior crew has been going on and on and on about this for forever, but the movie has opened. It's made an immense amount of money. Remember, this thing was sold out in IMAX and specialty screenings for over a year before anybody had ever seen a trailer or anything else. And now it's well on its way to probably make $1 billion or whatever it's going to make. And it's doing very, very well. Now, the fun part about this is people are discussing the classics of Greek mythology and things like that instead of some of the other stupider things we have to debate on social media. But it's also brought out the worst in people. Number one, people who don't care about the source text and don't care about the classics or care about anything else. They're just using it for their own nefarious means because you can tell so much of culture warring is just cut and paste, whether it's Bud Light or the Odyssey or this actor or that actress or that movie or that song or that whatever, and they slap woke or unwoke or progressive or conservative or whatever. It's the same thing. It's a Mad Lib thing. They're just going to take the new thing, slap the same argument on it, and put it forward to try to get clicks and internet glory, which is funny because the entire theme of Greek mythology is the hubris of man, and that the more epic and amazing stuff a man tries to do, the more his flaws get revealed as to just how bad human nature really is. I know that because I actually did have a classical education, both formally and informally. My father is a great student of the classics. He was a career educator, but he loves the Greeks. He can read ancient Greek. Now, he spared me. I got to read all this stuff in the English translations. He actually did a sabbatical in Greece when I was a kid, went over there for a summer and studied and toured Greece and Asia Minor. He takes this stuff seriously, and he was good enough to teach me the important parts, which is the actual theme of all this is man is flawed. The more man tries to be more than just a man, they're going to expose those flaws anymore. And that's good because that kept me from being a jackass online about a movie about the Odyssey under the premise of we have to protect the classics by being jackasses online, which is what a lot of people did here. Let's take the Helen of Troy piece of this for just a second, because that's the one a lot of people latched onto because they could slap racial prejudices on it one way or the other without actually coming out and saying that was what they were doing. Helen of Troy in the mythology, depending on which version you want to believe, because remember, Homer's version is just one version of this, and we're translating that multiple ways, and Nolan's version is just one of hundreds of thousands of versions. But the main version of Helen of Troy was that Zeus took on the form of a swan, got attacked by an eagle, took solace at Sparta, and got his, how do I say this gently, interspecies swerve on with the Queen of Sparta, maybe or maybe not consensually, depending on the version. And the Queen of Sparta may or may not have gave birth to Helen of Troy by hatching her out of an egg. So whenever somebody online just goes, we need to stay faithful to the original, see if they want to stay faithful to that part of the original, because I, for one, am really glad that Christopher Nolan didn't put that on film because nobody needs to see that. And I'm kind of sorry I know about it in the first place, but such as things. It goes to show, though, the actual takeaway of antiquities, whether it's Greek mythology, Roman mythology, which was a remix of Greek mythology, or Eastern mythology, or Western mythology, or Norse mythology, or Appalachian mythology, or whatever mythology you want. Don't base your whole culture around that, but do take this one piece from all of that, whether it's Hammurabi's Code, the Epic of Gilgamesh, all the way through to our modern movies. Human nature is undefeated. Mankind is flawed, and nothing brings out the stupidity of man like arguing over big things like trying to make culture all about mythology to explain culture to a bunch of people who don't know enough about their own culture to not argue about mythology. Does that sound convoluted? Does it sound like we need a flowchart for it? It does, but welcome to modern discourse. Read the classics for yourself. It's not hard. Get the Cliff Notes. You can just Google it now. It'll probably read it to you with AI. But learn it yourself. There's good stuff in there. But the one thing to take away from all of it is human nature is undefeated, whether it's Greek, American, or anybody else. Man is flawed. And the more pressure you put them under, like war, like epics, like journeys, like trying to deal with social media and politics and culture, the more flaws those are going to reveal. And when people reveal their flaws to us and tell us who they are, we need to believe what they're telling us. And you need to probably clean up your social media news intake timeline accordingly. Go watch the movie, decide for yourself, read the classics for yourself, and skip all the hot take artists who are just saying the same thing about this that they said about every other culture war, because in 2 weeks they're going to be saying it about the next culture war. There's no value there, and nobody's going to be talking about them a couple thousand years from now like we do the Odyssey and the Iliad in Greek mythology.